Let's go back now to our reporter who is on the ground for us, Sentleeng Lehihi, who is following the story for us. Sentle, thank you so much for your time. Well, we've been speaking to the NUM and we heard a little bit earlier from the mining CEO, the CEO of the mine, just saying that rescue operations have been concluded. Just talk to us about what the latest is, and perhaps let's start with, have all families been, informed in terms of what has transpired? And of course, the families of the deceased.
Good day to you, Nati, and our viewers. Indeed, we're still here on the Impala operations here in Rustenburg. We've seen some families when we're still at Shaft 11C. They made their way to that shaft to get word about their family members, to find out if they're among the counted 11 deceased or if they're among those who have been rushed to the nearest hospitals to receive care for their injuries. The family members we had an opportunity to speak to were quite distraught. They could not bring themselves to explain to us how they feel and the information that they have at hand, explaining to us that some of the information remains quite sketchy, and then they'll update what they know once they've met with their family members. But we have not been able to contact the family members of the deceased to hear from them how they feel about this tragedy and what they will do, anticipating support from the mine where their loved ones were working. As you know, the mine said to us that they've been working throughout the night in their rescue operations. Since the incident happened at 6 p.m. yesterday, they worked throughout the night until 8 a.m. this morning, retrieving the deceased and also ensuring that those injured would be rushed to the nearest facilities. In the press briefing we saw some hour ago, we saw Minister Gwede Mantashe together with representatives of Impala, and we also saw AMCU leadership also in the sidelines there. What we heard from the minister is that let us allow Impala to conduct its investigations together with representatives from the Department of Mineral Resources to ascertain what could have caused this personnel conveyor to actually plummet and lead to this dire situation. We've heard from some mine workers saying these safety concerns have been highlighted and nothing has been done to address them. We spoke to the minister and said, are these safety concerns neglected, and are these incidents continuing to happen because it seems that the department is not taking any of these mines to task? He said no, indeed, as a department they want the law to take its course, full investigations before they can make any utterances about this incident. But let's get word from leadership here of AMCU, the biggest union here representing mine workers. These members who have found themselves injured and deceased are their members. Ndata Matunjwa, you are here. You are on the sidelines. What do you make of this situation? This is not the first and it's likely not to be the last.
Can I say again, the life of a black worker in South Africa is cheap, in particular in the mining sector. It's just a number. And I'm saying this with all due respect. If you look where we are standing in terms of the number of the breadwinners that perish in this mine, we are sitting at 41, excluding the 11 that we are talking about. Yes, indeed, it is a sad day today in the mining industry and the South Africa at large. We are conveying our sincere condolences to the families, the friends and the neighbors and the community at large. We still got a long way to go here in South Africa when it comes to mine health and safety. You will recall that AMCO has been making clearance calls in terms of amending of Mine Health and Safety Act, because we felt strong that the current Mine Health and Safety Act does not bite. I mean, it doesn't change anything. The status quo still remains. Workers are still dying underground, no consequences to the owners of the mine.
40 plus mine workers have deceased this year. Our mines are becoming living coffins. Will these mining companies be brought to account? Will somebody be held responsible as these mine workers continue to perish underground?
It will never. I mean, I think here in South Africa, we are more focused on the interest of the foreign direct investors in the expense of the livelihood of the South Africans. As we stand at about 32% of unemployment do you think the government can reprimand these mines? Because they will be saying you are chasing out the investors, in the country. So the inquiries and the investigations that will be conducted is a tick box exercise, because after all these processes has been concluded, you've never heard of any CO, any mining houses that has been taken into task in terms of the killing of the workers.
Our expectations as AMCU families have lost their loved ones. Are we not pressing the mine to bring support and ensure that, the contributions the breadwinners made there continue?
No, we've been calling even to the government and to the mining house to say, if a worker passed on due to this accident, no replacement should be allowed. Like, for instance, the replacement, you take one of the children must come and work at the mine. Some of them, they have to drop out from school to come and work to feed their family. We are saying to Impala, let the salary of the worker who perished be paid to the widow or to the family up to the pensionable age. 2, if that family does not have any roof on top of their head, let the mine build proper houses. If AMCO has built houses for the Marikana massacre victims, what is mines that are making billions, in the mineral endowment of this country?
Thank you so much for your time, Ntate Mathunjwa, and thank you to your delegates. Word coming from President of AMCU, they're saying there's a need to restore the dignity of the families of the deceased, ensuring that all their income is maintained in their families to ensure that they do not suffer the greater consequences of losing a loved one in this dire tragedy. From us here in Impala in Rustenburg, back to you in studio.